Hello, today we will see the document management with AppQual. The title at the top is customizable by the administrator in terms of content, as well as color and size. The documents are accessible in different ways. In a tree structure, you can have documents accessible at the root in a directory and a new subdirectory, plus a level by type of document if you have activated it in the administrator menu. Voluntarily, we limit ourselves to 2 levels in order to have the simplest tree structure possible. If I am a user with documents, I will have to process, validate, verify, etc. The documents will automatically appear in the list here. The documents that you have flagged as favorites for the company, though that you want people to be able to access as easily as possible, can be found in the favorite section. New documents, though that have been validated for less than 60 years, but you can also set the length of time you consider a document to be new. It can be 35, 50, 60 days. It's up to you. Will automatically appear in this section. Finally, the document that I have recently consulted will appear in my recent documents, which is the equivalent of recent files in Windows. If the ones that I've consulted recently, they will appear here. Then, to be able to consult a document, it is enough to click on its reference or its title. It will open in a new tab next to the previous one. When the document is opened, we can view it. Here we are on a PDF document of the process mapping, for example. We are on a PDF document made from a Word file. There is zero computer development behind it. Nevertheless, we have put hyperlinks in the documents so that we can navigate in the QHSE manual. So, if I click on the Improve process, for example, I display the map of the improve process, which is once again a PDF. And when it is displayed, if I had gone further by clicking on Measuring Customer Satisfaction, I would display the procedure for measuring customer satisfaction, which itself may contain a form, etc. And then you can navigate back and forth with the navigation arrows within the PDF. It is important to see that the hyperlink that we have put in have a particular form specific to AppQual, which allows us to always point to the document that is valid, since we'll see that we can have several versions of the same document, and the link will always be active toward the valid one. So, we have this information, the consultation of the document is possible if we are on a document that has searchable file. Validated documents are marked with a green marker. If we are on documents that are possibly with another status than validated, for example, here we have a document that expired. In this case, I have a warning message when I open it. I have a warning message that appears telling me that the document is not valid. I can nevertheless consult it if I am an authorized user. If I am a person with a collaborator status with only consultation access, in this case I will only have visibility of valid documents that are often in the process of being written. Verified and validated or obsolete documents that are out of date will not be accessible to collaborators. This ensures that only valid documents can be consulted. This is a way to access and consult a document. If I'm looking for a particular document, I can search for it in different ways. I can search here by looking for the word audit. So by tapping the first few letters, I see that I have different documents. I click on Internal Audit Procedure. I will display the characteristics of the documents, and I can also display the procedure will be displayed here. I can also search for a document here by a keyword that will be contained in the title, in the description, in one of the text fields. If I search for the word control, for example, it will search for all the documents that contain control and that are documents with a validated status, and it will bring up different documents that have the word control used somewhere. If I want to extend the search to all the documents, including those that are not valid, obsolete, etc., we'll see all the other criteria. And we can also have other search criteria than a certain word. In this case, it is enough to select them. With the date of revision, for example, or who has checked with the document, etc., we can make all the searches that we want. So, this is to access a document and consult it. If you click on the reference, you will see the document. And if you click on the pencil, you will see the characteristics of the document. A document will be characterized by one reference that is obviously unique in the system, one version. You decide whether you want to manage letters, numbers, dates. A combination of numbers and dates or letters and dates is completely free. We will manage the directory, the subdirectory, and the type of documents as we need. We manage a title, a description. In the description, we can put the keywords that will allow us to search for the documents as we have previously seen. We can also have a history of modifications to know why we are at the F version, what modifications have been made. We will manage two files, the consultation file, a file that can be consulted, which I recommend should be a PDF, but you can put whatever you want as a file. The most comfortable for reading is the PDF. And the source file, the file that you use to make the PDF, Word file, Excel, PowerPoint, whatever you want. You can also store it in AppQual so that you don't have to manage files in one place and another. Everything can be in AppQual. We will also manage in AppQual a document validation workflow with a creator, a writer, a verifier, and a validator of the documents. When we go from one step to another, an email will be sent automatically if the person who has to do the next step is different from you, and the email will inform the person that he has tasks to do to this document. For a document that has been validated, we have the document validation date. We can manage a revision date for the document. The validator will receive a reminder email indicating that his document must be revised. If I want to, I can also put a date of end of validity on the document. By default, when you create the document, the date of end of validity is in January 1, 2009. Then we can have documents which expire automatically. If we want to manage a favorite documents that are displayed in the favorite document section, we can do it here. We will also be able to manage the type of user among the different types that we have in the AppQual. The different types of user are interlocutors, which types will have the right to consult the documents, so we can have documents accessible to all the people internally at your company, as well as to end-user users, department managers, or conversely, as here we can have documents that are accessible from the status of another external interlocutor, such as your auditors. So you can create a login and a password for your ISO auditors and give them access to certain key documents. The main procedures, a list of procedures, the quality, safety, and environmental manual. They will be able to connect to AppQual to consult these documents. They will only have access to that, not to the other documents, nor to the plan action, non-conformities audit, and so on. They will not have access, and this avoids you having to make a package of documents without them so they can prepare their audits. They can consult them directly online. We will also be able to manage distribution lists. So here we see that on these documents, the quotation distribution list is checked. And on this document, we can see that in the quotation distribution list, there are 4 people who have consulted the document, and there are 3 people who have not yet consulted it. If I select another mailing list, I also have the history linked to this mailing list. If I want, I can set a reminder to other people who have not read the document, who have not displayed on AppQual. I check here, write an email. I add the subject of the email, which is by default the document DIV or 06, is available in AppQual, but you can modify it. In the text of the email, you will have a hyperlink that will allow you to go to the document in AppQual by clicking directly on the link. If AppQual is open on your computer, otherwise it will open AppQual and you will have to click on the link to display the document. And then, a text that is proposed here with the basic information of this document, its version, its title, and the fact that it's available in AppQual, your signature that will be put. It's in pneumatic through a connection. This text can be completed in such a way as to indicate, for example, what the main changes are and to explain them if you wish. If I click on Save It, it will send an email to the 4 people who were notified here and as not having read the document yet. We also have information on the hypertext link that I was talking about earlier. The link that allows you to navigate in the document, it will have this form here. The form at the beginning will be the URL of the base. So here we are on the demo base, a little bit of computer jargon, and we will end with the ref div006. And all the hyperlink that we'll have to create in AppQual will have the same beginning and will end with a reference of the document, since we are on the document div006 here. And so this link is interpreted by AppQual, and AppQual will search in other documents, other versions of the div006, which is valid, since we can obviously have only one valid version at the same time, and it will display it to you after you have clicked on the link. Finally, we have the history of the other versions, which also appears here and which you can consult here. So, it is a characteristics of a document. We can also add, if you want, list of checkboxes, drop-down lists to characterize the document if we need to put more things in connection with the document, as we can do on a non-compliance, an action, etc. So here's a little bit in the broad line of the functioning of the EDM in AppQual, which allows to have a fully accessible document system, since a simple internet connection allows to access it. You can manage consultation rights so that certain documents are only accessible to certain people, as we have seen, and others that are accessible to everyone. In a multi-site, multi-entity version, you can also manage a multi-entity on the document base so that you can also see documents by entity, by country, for example, with documents in a certain language accessible to the entities that are attached to their country, and the other entities will have access to the other documents. Some documents can obviously be common to all users. I thank you for your attention, and do not hesitate to consult me if you need more information, more details on Document Manager or other features of AppQual. Have a nice day. Bye!